Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University School of Humanities, SOH. Certificate Program in Functional English, Basic Level, CFE. BEG 004 for English in Daily Life. Block-1 The World Around Us. Unit-2 Learning to Introduce. 2.0 Objectives. In this unit you will read a biographical account of one of our famous scientists, Madame Curie. In turn, you will also be given practice in describing people. You will use the context within the passage to find the meanings of words. You will also learn to introduce people and engage in social chit-chat. To achieve accuracy in the language, we have given you practice in the simple past and the perfect tense. 2.1 Warm up. 1. Do you like meeting people? Why? To find out at least 3 ways of greeting in 3 parts of the world. 4. Instance, the Indians fold their hands and say, Namaste. 2.2 Reading comprehension, biography. Autobiography and biography. An autobiography is a written piece on yourself written by you. It is always written in the first person and talks about one's life, thoughts and experiences. A biography is someone writing on another person's life, thoughts and experiences. People like reading about others who have led successful lives, because we sometimes model our lives according to the lives of people we admire. Here is an extract from a biography of Madame Curie written by Eve Curie. The life of Marie Curie is so interesting that one would like to tell her story like a legend. She was a woman, she belonged to an oppressed nation, she was poor, she was beautiful. A powerful vocation summoned her from her motherland, Poland, to study in Paris. There she lived through years of poverty and solitude. There she met a man whose genius was akin to hers. She married him. Their happiness was unique. By the most desperate effort they discovered a magic element, radium. This discovery not only gave birth to a new science and a new philosophy, it provided mankind with the means of treating a dreadful disease. At the moment when the failure of the two scientists and benefactors was spreading through the world, grief overtook Mary. Her husband, her wonderful companion, was taken from her by death in an instant. But in spite of distress and physical illness, she continued alone the work that had been begun with him and brilliantly developed the science they had created together. The rest of her life resolved itself into a kind of perpetual giving to the war. Wounded, she gave her devotion and her health. Later on she gave her advice, her wisdom and all the hours of her time to her pupils, to future scientists who came to her from all parts of the world. When her mission was accomplished, she died exhausted, having refused wealth and endured her honors with indifference. It would have been a crime to add the slightest ornament to this story, so I have not related a single anecdote of which I am not sure. I have not deformed a single essential phrase or so much as invented the color of a dress. The facts are as stated, that was her life. 2.3 Vocabulary. We can always find the meanings of words from the dictionary, but sometimes we need to try and find out the meaning from the text we are reading by looking at the context. Activity 2. I find the words used in the reading passage that mean the same as the words given below. I. 11. 111. 4. V. 6. 7. V 111. 9. X. Governed in a cruel manner. Forced her to go. State of being poor. Similar to. Settled. Constant, continual. Completed. Not bothered about. Very tired. Decoration. To find the odd one out in each of the following sets, that is, the word that does not belong to the set. I anecdote story tale myth. 2. Vocation vacation job profession. 3. Solitude indifference loneliness isolation. 4. Unique unusual exquisite special. V. Dreadful horrible terrible diddly. 6. Distress unhappiness disbelief misery. 2.4 Grammar. Simple past tense and the past perfect. The simple past tense. Look at these sentences. They indicate that something has happened in the past. 1. She belonged to an oppressed nation. 2. There she met a man whose genius was akin to hers. 3. Later on she her advice. All the underlined words are verbs showing some action that took place in the past. We say that these verbs are in the simple past tense. In the simple past tense, many verbs are formed by adding d or ed to the verb. Examples: belong belonged, cook cooked, talk talked, work worked. Many other verbs, which end in a consonant, double the consonant before adding ed. Examples: stop, crop, stir, stopped, cropped, stirred. But many other verbs have an irregular simple past tense form. Examples: meet met, give gave. The simple past tense is used to express actions or states which occurred in the past and are now finished. Note: we often use the simple past tense with words like yesterday last week, 5 days ago last Sunday. Activity 3. 1. Rewrite the following sentences using the simple past tense. 1. Yesterday I talk a great deal on the subject. 2. He become the president last year. 3. We get up late yesterday. 4. They move house last September. 5. He die in an accident last month. B. The past perfect tense. Look at these sentences. 1. She brilliantly developed the science they had created together. 2. She had spoken to me twice this morning. The verbs in these sentences are in the past perfect tense. This tense is formed by the auxiliary had followed by the past participle of the verb. Examples: had created, had called, had it in. The past perfect tense is used to indicate that an action happened before another action happened in the past. Note: in cases where only one past action is referred to and where there is no reference to another past action, the simple past tense should be preferred to the past perfect tense. To rewrite the following sentences using the past perfect tense. 1. The farmers sowed the seeds after they plow their fields. 2. We returned home late at night, my mother already cook the food. 3. She wash the dress before she went to bed. 4. After we wash our hands we had dinner. We Abraham came after all the guests go home. 3. Rewrite using the past simple or past perfect tense. 1. He was perturbed when he learned of her accident. 2. After she tell the truth she was forgiven. 2.5 Speaking, learning to introduce. Introductions can be both formal and informal. We use different styles of language in each case. Work in pairs and practice the following introductions. 1. Informal. Amina, hello, I am Amina. Who are you? Jane, hello, Amina. I'm Jane. I am pleased to meet you. Anina, so am I. Hi. Once again. 2. Formal. Work in groups of 3 and practice the following introduction. Mr. Raj Mohan, good morning, Mr. Phillips. I am delighted to meet you. I would like to introduce my colleague Mrs. Rita Rana. Mrs. Rita Rana, this is Mr. Doug Phillips from our head office in New York. Mr. Doug Phillips, good morning, Mrs. Khanna. I am delighted to meet you. Mrs. Rita Rana, good morning, sir. I hope you have a very pleasant stay in Delhi. Mr. Doug Phillips, I hope so too. 3. In the next output you will read about how we introduce an invited guest at a formal function. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have great pleasure in introducing our chief guest for the evening, Mr. Reed Grant, Chairman, Bell Electricals, New Jersey. Sir, we are indeed delighted to have you with us on this memorable evening. Activity 4. Using the same format, introduce the following guests at a formal evening function. 1. Mr. Lim Chung, Principal of Thompson Junior College, Beijing. 2. Miss Alyssa Brooklyn, Fashion Designer, Top Apparels UK. 2.6 Listening Comprehension, Social Chit-Chat. Activity 5. 1. Given below are remarks which are often required in social situations. Match the following remarks in A with their answers in B. Then repeat them after the teacher. 11. 111. 4. V. 6. 7. 8. 9. X. Hello, how are you? Thanks for the beautiful flowers. How's business? Would you like to stop for coffee on the way home? Have you got the time? How do you do? George sends you his regards. How did the meeting go? How do you take your coffee? Right then, I'm off. Good, a lot of issues got settled. I'm fine, thanks, and you? Yeah, I'd love to. Where shall we go? Very good indeed. Things are very busy just now. Bye, see you later. That's kind of him. How is George? It was a pleasure. I'm so glad you liked them. How do you do? Black with 2 sugars, please. Yes, it's 5:15. 2. World Hello Day takes place in November. This day is an opportunity to celebrate world languages. You can now hear different people say hello in different languages. Assalamu alaikum, Arabic. Marhaba, Turkish. Hello, Afrikaans. Shalom, Hebrew. Salute, bonjour, French. Guten Tag, German. Hola, Spanish. Ciao, salve, Italian. Konnichiwa, Japanese. Annyeong, Korean. 2.7 Writing, describing a friend. Activity 6. 1. Your friend Lisa, who lives in your country, is likely to travel to London. She does not know anyone in London. You, however, have a friend in London whose name is Ellie Brown. Write a letter to Ellie, telling her something about Lisa, your friend. The letter begins like this. 11th December 2005. Dear Ellie, how are you? I received Vigur letter and was glad to hear that everything is fine. I am writing to let you know that a friend of mine, Lisa, is visiting London next week and I have asked her to meet you. Let me tell you something about Lisa. 2.8 Let us sum UP. In this unit, you read a biographical account of Madame Curie, the famous scientist and humanist. You learn to introduce informal and informal contexts. You listen to engage in social conversation and to say hellos in different languages. Taking your cue from the biographical account, you wrote about your friend in the form of an informal letter. You also practiced the past and the simple past perfect tense. Thank you.